Hello everyone, welcome back to this new episode of the Gemini Inc. version 2 Pentest Challenge. We've been able to find a hidden registration feature using the directory bruteforce attack, and from there we were able to bypass anti-cserf token in order to activate the user account. And now we are trying to understand how the export feature works, because it seems that it's broken, but is it? Let's find out. So when we try to export the profile, we get an error, and this error is due to the fact that the response doesn't really contain a PDF, it's a string. So if we play with it a little bit on the repeater, we see that it's returning the same string, really, doesn't change. So let's copy this and maybe try to find where this string is coming from. So I'm going to use the burp search feature, paste in that and click go. Oh boy, we have a lot of results. Where in the world this? Oh, okay. So it's returning the session ID of the user. That's really interesting. Okay. So it's trying to return the session ID of the user, and we have also the user ID and the password hash. Okay. Does it change anything if I remove the password and send it? It's taking a little bit of time to render, not sure why. I hope that when we hopefully get a remote code execution on the server, I'm really curious to learn more about this functionality, because it's really odd. How it is written, what does it do? Let's give it some time and see if we get a broken response or a different string, maybe an error. I don't know. It's all part of the fuzzing process. You know, trying to send everything and see what sticks. Okay, so we receive the same session cookie as the user. Okay. Can we target the user, the hackerish? Because maybe the application takes in that cookie value and then returns the user's session ID. That would allow us to perform some kind of account takeover and maybe access the admin account. Let's see if we can go to the user list. Oh, okay. We have some users here, but this one has a different color, and it has user ID 1, which probably means that this is the administrator, and yes, it's the admin. Okay. What about the other accounts? This one is just a member. What about our accounts? The hackerish, for example, it's also a member. So this one that has the username Gemini is the administrator. So maybe we can use that username to fetch his session ID. Okay, did we receive a different session? Nope, I don't think so. Nope, that's the same. Okay. So I guess we don't, maybe we have the possibility to specify the user ID here, and that would maybe work. Let's try that out. You know, this is just the process of trying to understand how the feature works based on a black box approach. We don't know the source code, we don't know anything behind the scenes, so we're trying to probe it from different angles and see. It's just like a puzzle. You try to poke around and see if you find any entry point. Okay, I don't think we have anything here different from this session of the current user, which is a bummer. Okay. What else can we try? Is the application like verifies really the session? Let's maybe change this to 123 and maybe remove the user to cookie. Let's send it. This is a bit promising because normally if the application verifies if the user is authenticated right away before doing any logic, we would have received a response immediately saying maybe forbidden or you're not authenticated or maybe a redirection to the login page. But in this case, it's the same behavior. It's taking the same time. I mean, it doesn't respond quickly. So my thinking is that it's actually not verifying the PHP session ID. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's actually returning that session ID, whatever the value is. Okay. That's interesting. So the question now becomes, how is this PHP session ID getting evaluated server side? Does the application do anything with it? And because we're approaching it from a black box perspective, the only thing we need to try really is do some kind of fuzzing. So let's try to send maybe a quote, double quote, maybe a semicolon, but we need to encode it. Otherwise, it's going to be to end the value of our PHP session ID. What else? Let's send maybe image tag for cross-site scripting, and maybe also send a sleep of maybe 4 seconds. I'm just trying what we call a polyglot. Notice that we've received a response right away. Send. It automatically returned under 15 milliseconds, meaning that indeed there is some kind of evaluation behind the scenes. I wonder if this is related to the payloads that we've introduced. So, yep, sleep as well is not. Okay. I guess that's because it's related to the blacklists file we had here. Blacklists or blacklist.txt contained cat more or less. Yeah, it doesn't contain the image or sleep, but nonetheless, let's try maybe with wget, and run it. Let's try with just a dummy value. Let's remove the single and double quotes. Okay, instant response. Depending on this value, maybe. Let's try and send this. Okay, we have an instant value. Maybe that's because the semicolon here is filtered out. Yeah, now it's taking much longer. Okay. What about some kind of pipe like this? Send it. Get instant access. You know what? I'm going to try with a semicolon, encode it. Maybe this is a command injection, because if it is the case, then it would explain why we return an instant response, because maybe we're crashing something behind the scenes. So let's maybe like introduce a comment. I guess that's would have a valid command and send it. Nope. Let's try with maybe a callback on our collaborator. Let's get started. Copy to clipboard and introduce here a wget with a path or to our host name. Like, okay, like this. Send it. Oh, it's taking some time, which means that potentially this is getting evaluated. Okay, let's wait a little bit and see what we have as a result. It's taking quite some time. Ooh, did you see that? The collaborator has light up. Ooh, okay. We have a DNS followed by a HTTP call. That's promising. And the user agent is wget, which is nothing but the request that we've triggered. So this essentially means that we've found a command injection vulnerability. So we could run arbitrary commands here and the server would evaluate them. That's really cool. In the next video, we're going to see how we can leverage this to gain remote access to the server. So make sure to subscribe and hit the ring bell to receive the video once it goes live. As always, stay curious, keep learning, and go find some bugs.